Good afternoon. The term cornering, we are going to cover cornering. All the vehicles, when they are moving, they have to do what we call cornering. My name is Diamond Piri, TAPE Driving School. The term cornering is used to describe the driving of a vehicle around a corner or a bend. This is a very important subject which I also covered extensively in social media and even in newspapers. I've written a lot of articles about cornering. The manner of approaching and negotiating the various bends and corners encountered in a day-to-day motoring is what we are going to discuss, and it will vary accordingly to prevailing conditions. The following principles also apply, must be complied with at all costs to ensure maximum safety. That's number one. The correct position of the vehicle on the approach side. Number two, right choice of speed as you approach a corner. Number three, correct gear to the speed. And number four, the vehicle to maintain a constant speed while negotiating the curve. I think we have realized a lot of vehicles, they actually involved in accident, which means they go off the road whenever they are negotiating the curve. The application of the following principles, certain safety factors will also be apparent according to the Police Roadcraft Manual. Your vehicle will be in the correct side of the road. That's point number A. Point number B, the vehicle will be able to remain there. Point number B, your vehicle will be able to stop in the distance. The driver can see the road ahead to be clear. The condition of steering, suspension, shock absorbers, tires, pressure, and the holding of your vehicle will affect the behavior of the vehicle when negotiating a curve or a corner. As a driver should know that when turning, there are certain forces that act on the vehicle. There's what we call momentum force, which is the going forward force. This force gets the moment you exert pressure on the accelerator pedal, and your vehicle will move fast. The moment when you steer your vehicle into a curved path whilst negotiating the curve, an outward force is created. This force is called centrifugal force. A combination of these forces, they tend to take the vehicle towards the offside of the road, and this produces what we call resultant force. This force is the one that takes the car off the road. Statistics also show that most cars go off the road when negotiating curves. Therefore, as a driver, you need to fully apply the system of car control when approaching the bend. The condition of your road determines the way you should apply the system of car control for negotiating the bend or the curve. In our next lesson, I'm going to cover how you should apply the system of car control when negotiating the curve. Thank you very much. How are you? My name is Diamond Piri. I'm a writer, a psychologist, an instructor, a TAPE Driving School, an educationist. Right. We are going to cover driving in the rain. As you continue with the driving in the rain, this requires your total concentration. Total concentration is the application of mind and body to the full completion of everything not relevant to that endeavor. So endeavor, as you move with your vehicle, is to drive your car well without any problem. That is according to the Police Roadcraft Manual. The definition of concentration. They say the application of mind and body to a particular endeavor to the complete exclusion of everything not relevant to that particular endeavor. So your endeavor is, as a driver, is to drive your motor vehicle progressively and well without any distraction. Distraction is defined by Wilkins, that is 1999, as any activity that could divert a person's attention from the primary task of driving. Any activity that diverts the driver's attentiveness put the driver and his or her passengers and other road users at serious risk. This includes the use of have cell phones, that is reading books, watching movies, videos, adjusting seat, radio, or any other activity, or even temperature controls. Driving distraction are classified into three main types, which are manual, visual, and cognitive. These are explained as I explain them. The manual distraction is when the driver moves his or her hand from the task of controlling the vehicle, for example, reaching for a cup or a drink in that carrier, in the vehicle carrier, or a visual distraction. This when the driver takes eyes off the road. For example, one spills a drink in their lap and looks down to check the stained cloth and shoes. That's visual distraction. That's why we always say when you are driving, you don't look at the gears, you must look on the road. That is our vehicle inspection department VID examination checklist. You must look on the road, because when you look on the gears, we take some marks, and immediately the examiner takes some marks. Cognitive distraction, this is when the driver's hand or mind wanders away from the task of driving. For example, when you start thinking whether to change the clothes that you are wearing, you lose concentration on driving. So you must at all costs avoid distraction. As we move on with our learning, we are going to cover in our next lesson. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. How are you? How are you? How are you? My name is Diamond Pili. I'm a writer. I write articles all over the world on driving, on motoring, and all other social issues. Today, we are going to cover driving in the rain. In some parts of our country, we are very fortunate and happy to have some rains. Paradoxically, the same rains have claimed a lot of souls on our roads. Therefore, as drivers, we have to be extra careful when driving in wet and rain conditions. Before you drive your vehicle, when it's raining, you have to carry out some vehicle inspections. This should include checking the windscreen wiper blades, washer fluids, tire treads, depth, pressure, examine the headlights, tail lights, brake lights, turn signals, replace any worn out or damaged parts, turn your lights on, make sure the vehicle lights are clean and working properly. Use low beam lights when it's raining, that is fog lights. Ensure your car can easily be seen by other road users. Drive slower than usual and avoid sharp movements or turnarounds or turnings. Allow more stopping distance and avoid harsh braking, because we have what we call aquaplaning, which happens to your car when you brake abruptly. Plan your movements in advance, for example, acceleration, braking, turning or changing gears. Wet condition includes the risk of hydroplaning, and which happens when you drive over wet movements and stagnant waters. And lose contact, that's what we call when the road surfaces refers in a loss or friction, and including the inability to stress your car. Avoid cruise control at all costs, as it allows you move options to choose from when responding to potential loss or traction situation, the movement or your safety. I think with this information, we can actually become good drivers as we have these rains. I'm going to come with more information on safe driving when it's raining. Thank you very much. How are you? How are you? My name is Diamond Pili. I'm a writer, a philosopher, a psychologist, an educationist. I'm from TAPE Driving School. I'm an instructor. Right. Last time we were covering the aspect of